see how long this takes to load then, shall we? Get all the stuff up first. There we go. Okay. Maybe will be the first one on the fly. That one. Yeah, there it is. Fantastic. So, the chat's up, the stream's up, we're all good to go. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 3 of the PS4 Americas series here on Race Spec Esports. We are here for the Canadian Grand Prix at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, a 2.67 mile, 14 turn racetrack. It's one of the best racetracks in the real life world of Formula One. It's a Monza-like racetrack with very long straights separated by some tight chicanes, most notably at turns 3 and 4, 6 and 7, 8 and 9, and of course, the iconic part of the circuit, turns 13 and 14, as Captain Schmeck is arriving at right now, the Wall of Champions chicane, given its name after the 1999 Canadian Grand Prix, where world champions Michael Schumacher, Damon Hill and Jacques Villeneuve all crashed at that very wall in the race. So then after that, it was given the name the Wall of Champions, rather fitting really. First ever Canadian Grand Prix was run back in 1978. It was won by the circuit's namesake, Gilles Villeneuve, and since then, the country of Canada and the racetrack Circuit Gilles Villeneuve have become a staple in the Formula One calendar ever since, and has generated some of the best racing we have ever seen, most notably the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix with an epic win from Jenson Button after making something ridiculous like 5 or 6 tours through the pit lane. An unbelievable victory and easily the best of his career. In the virtual world, however, this is not a track to be taken lightly. Warnings are a common problem around here, particularly at the Wall of Champions chicane. It's incredibly easy to go over the white line, over the track limits, gather warnings and gather penalties, and it started to rain. Oh dear. So this might be qualifying done and dusted here at Montreal. If it is raining and it continues to get worse, these drivers will not improve on the times they are going to set right now. That is some development, I must say. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, all of these times that are going to be set right now, they will not be beaten. SWML goes to the top of the table with a 1 minute 8.7. Lake Show crosses the line, does a 9.9, jumps up to P5. What about the drivers below? KD, race winner from Austria, had a massive amount of bad luck at Silverstone. He was leading and he was unfortunately taken out under safety car, resulting in him retiring, not scoring any points. He'll be hoping to regather his form to deal with. Out of turn 9, heading towards turn 10, probably the most important traction zone on the racetrack. You need a fantastic out of here, really maximize the top speed down the Casino Straight. Around turn 11, then into the most insignificant corner in Formula One. This is turn 12. According to the track map, that is a legitimate corner. So that is quite frankly very stupid, to be honest. That really shouldn't be a corner, but anyway. KD out of the Wall of Champions, coming towards the line, does a 10 flat, jumps to P6. I don't think too many drivers would go quicker than that in these sort of slippery conditions. It's not wet enough for intermediates, but it's definitely not dry enough so then the slick tyre can operate efficiently. So these guys are really going to struggle, and I don't think anyone's going to touch Alf at the top of the table. As you can see on the halo of this Red Bull with detail, the rain is still coming down, and I believe it's only going to get heavier. Around the hairpin. Turn number 10. And around turn 11, he's got his teammate behind him who's on an out lap. He might get a sneaky little toe coming down the pitch straight away. In the beginning of his lap. Around the wall of champions. Has to be careful through here. Keeps it well within the white lines. Does an 11.5. Puts him 12th. Lets his teammate through. Nero Nix now on a lap. Sefi invalidated his time. Excuse me. And he's got a damaged front wing as well. So he'll be coming into the pits, I assume. Alpine is on an out lap. I have no idea why. He's on soft tyres. Fresh soft tyres. Has it just stopped raining? No, there's still rain coming over the halo. It's just a bit difficult to see. But surely he will not be able to improve. There is no way you'll be able to improve in these conditions. Nowhere near the ideal track temperature. A bit of moisture on the surface. Be incredibly slippery. We'll see what he can do in a later day. SWM Beam letting pass Niru Nix. He's about to end his flying lap and Bean is in the pits. So what's Alpine up to? He's going to do a lap here. Nix does a 12.4. See what Alp can do. Through turn 1 and into turn 2, second gear. There's Flavius on the pit exit. Sideways was out there. Very sideways on the exit. Now into turns 3 and 4. Very difficult chicane that. Because it's downhill, it's difficult to sight the first apex, which is turn 3. Incredibly easy to miss it and then cut too much of turn 4. Out of 7, DRS open, down the back straightaway of sorts. Underneath the bridge into turns 8 and 9. Very nice through there, using the orange curve. You can only go that far if you stray too far over. You'll get a warning and an invalidation, and he's down by a second in the second sector. Round turn 10, sideways on the exit. Then into turn 12. A very dramatic lap of Circuit Gilles Villeneuve here. And just proof that the conditions are definitely worsening, and he massively overshoots the pit lane entry there. Yeah, I believe this will be qualifying over. I don't think anyone will be improving. Sefi's got a fair amount of work to do. In these sort of conditions, in order to improve position, he has to do something quicker. On a 1 minute 14.266 set by reserve driver, the threshold, a South African driver who I noticed in the pre-race lobby. Quite a diverse group of people in this race. Oh, and in the wall. Coming out to turn 4. These conditions are not going to be easy to drive in, not at all. Oh, sideways on the exit of 7 as well. Towards turns 8 and 9. Oh dear, bit of lag there. Oh, sideways on the exit. Who's that car coming up? That is Carson. Gets past him with ease. Carson currently in 5th place. I will believe he will stay there. Sefi down the casino straight, opens DRS. Game. It's through with relative ease. Can he beat a 114? He does a 113.8. He does. He jumps up to 17th. Yeah, very, very tricky conditions. And I think that'll be it for qualifying, really. I don't think anyone will be improving on their times. Lake Show has begun a flying lap on the medium tyres. He's probably just experimenting. Carson, who I mentioned earlier, on a flyer. Sector 1 says he's down by a second and a half. Yeah. Qualifying for sure is over. No one's improving. Not in these conditions. It's just too impossible. Bean has retired from the session, rather logically so. Cutting the chicane there, Carson. That'll be something that the stewards will be looking at post-race. The head steward of Race Spec informed the drivers that when that happens, most notably at turns 8 and 9 that we just saw there, and also the Wall of Champions chicane, the drivers must follow the orange markers in order to rejoin the racetrack. If they don't, they may be handed a penalty during the race. I'm sure in qualifying that's not too much of a problem, but in the race itself, drivers must follow the directions of the orange boards. If they don't, they might get a slap on the wrist. Several drivers now retiring from the session. So it will be SMM Alp starting from pole with a 1 minute 8.7. Second place is Hildebeest with a 1 minute 9.021. Kimi in third with a 1 minute 9.170. All of the top 10 will be starting on the soft compound tyres, it seems, unless of course we have a wet weather start. But for the strategy for this race, it should be a fairly interesting race, because there are a few strategies you can go with. The undercut around here is incredibly powerful, so the two-stop strategy is actually the favoured one. Also, because of the length of the pit lane, it isn't particularly long, as you ignore the Wall of Champions chicane and turn 1 and most of turn 2 as well. So the two-stop, either a soft medium soft or a soft medium, or maybe for drivers outside the 10 might go with a medium soft sort of race. You can also make the one stop work as well. However, the tyres deteriorate fairly quickly and you start to lose a lot of pace, but you do gain a fair amount of track position due to you doing one less stop. Just be waiting on everyone to retire. Gentleman Seth is on a flying lap. He's invalidated though. All he has to do is set one lap time and he improves by one position. He won't be starting from plumb last, but he decides to go into the pits regardless. This is going to be a very boring 3.5 minutes, isn't it? Unless everyone retires soon. Hopefully everyone retires soon. No, someone's coming out. Sephi's coming out. I think this is not a very smart decision. It's only getting wetter. There's absolutely no need to go out and set a lap. Might as well just retire from the session. And he does. On track, yeah, that's not too bad. No one else is out on circuit, so he's not impeding anyone. But no, I'll tell you what, seeing as I've got time to do so, we might as well cover the championship standings. We're only 3 rounds in, so it's not going to paint a perfect picture of what this championship is going to be like. But the championship standings, if I can find them, there they are there. So who's leading the championship, I wonder, after what happened at Silverstone? It is SMM Bean, who is leading, the Alfa Romeo driver, on 34 points. Hildebeest in second on 26, well, equal second actually, with I'm Sefi, both of them on 26 points respectively. Captain Schmeg is in fourth on 25, well, actually equal fourth with KD, after his incident at Silverstone and his race win at Austria. Both KD and Captain Schmeg on 25 points respectively. SMM Alp, the Ferrari driver, in 6th place on 23. Reserve driver Kimi in 7th place on 20. Snake and Beans on 14 points in 8th. Lake Show in 9th on 12. JST, Detail and Niru Nix equal 10th on 11 points each. In the constructors standings, Haas are leading on 51. Alfa Romeo on 45 in 2nd. Equal third between Ferrari and Racing Point. They've got 30 points each respectively, with 5th place Williams on 26. Red Bull in 6th place, just 4 points behind on 22. But again, this doesn't really pave too much of a picture for what this season is going to be like. We're only 2 rounds in. This is the 3rd round now. But hopefully once we start hitting sort of the mid-phase of the championship, we'll get a better idea of who's contesting for the Drivers' Championship and which teams are contesting for the Constructors' Championship. But, I've had no message in regards to the weather for the race. Thus, I am assuming it's going to be dry at Montreal. I assume. But Montreal tends to shake it up a little bit every now and then. Get to see some very unique conditions that aren't seen at too many other racetracks like this right now, where it's only lightly raining. It's not heavy enough for intermediate conditions. You have to use a soft tyre or a slick tyre. But because of the reduced track temperature and the added moisture, it becomes incredibly slippery. So front when those sort of conditions come ahead. So there we go, qualifying, a very long and uneventful qualifying session is over. We'll run through the top 10 again. SWML will start from pole position. Alongside him will be Hildebeest, 3/10 behind after setting their 1 flying lap. Kimi will start from 3rd, Captain Schmeg in 4th, Carson in 5th, Bean in 6th, Lake Show in 7th, KD in 8th, Bender for Life in 9th, and Flavius rounding out the top 10, 1.7 seconds, and you kind of expect that in these sort of tricky conditions that will have a fairly spread out field. For the drivers outside the 10, we'll go through the list once we get through the formation lap, and we'll see what kind of strategy they're going to go with what tyre they are going to start with. Unless, of course, it's raining. Let's have a look. Loading into the session, it is overcast, a bit like what it was in qualifying. And that paves a bit of an awkward picture for us, doesn't it? I would like to say it's going to remain overcast and dry, but knowing the game, it might just toss in a little bit of wet weather in this race. It might increase the drama a little bit if it does indeed rain at some stage. Safety cars are quite frequent around here due to the rather enclosed nature of the racetrack and its demanding nature as well. And effectively speaking, it's a sort of street circuit due to the fact that the walls pretty much line either side of the road. But I don't believe that this is actually public road. So I believe this is a permanent racetrack. It's not an actual public road, so it's not actually a street circuit, but it has very much sort of street circuit characteristics. But drivers are now on their formation lap. Let's have a look at what the drivers are up to. So, quite an interesting picture. Snake and Bean starting from 11th place. He's starting on the soft tyres. You can see the predicted tyre stop strategy. Soft, medium, medium for the Renault driver. I imagine a few drivers will be doing the same thing. Doberman in 12th place in the McLaren, starting on the soft tyre as well. Detail is the first of 2 drivers on the grid, starting on the mediums. He's starting in 13th place. Sully alongside him on the soft tyre in 14th. Niru Nix also on the soft tyre in 15th. Lucid in 16th on the softs. Sefi in 17th place. A lot of work to do, and he's decided to go with the alternate strategy. The second driver starting on the medium tyre. He is in P17. Threshold in 18th place. JST in 19th place. And Gentleman Seth at the back of the grid. All 3 of those drivers will be starting on the soft compound tyre, hoping to make up a few positions early on. JST running a bit wide there at the hairpin. But very, very overcast. No wet weather though. I can't see any raindrops on the halos, so might just remain overcast for this race. telemetry up. Fantastic. So we'll just be waiting on Gentleman Surf to line up into his grid slot and we'll be ready to go. The leaders are now pulling up into their respective grid slots. They're ready to go. Now turn 1, lap 1 tends to be quite chaotic. We might see an accident. Hopefully we won't. Hopefully all 20 drivers make through the opening lap with relative safety, but I can't assure you that. But here we go, everyone's lined up. Everyone's ready to race here. We have 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go here at Montreal. Alp gets a pretty decent start, but so does Hildebeest. He's looking around the long way into turn 1. Everyone going through side by side. Oh, and the Renault hits the back of the Haas there at turn 2. But everyone gets through with relative ease from the looks of things. We'll look at the tail end of the field. Everyone gets through turns 1 and 2 very well. I am incredibly impressed. Oh dear, the tail runs off the racetrack, but he rejoins very safely. Lake Show, oh dear, he has spun out at turn 3 at the apex of 4. Oh, he has to be very careful he doesn't damage his front wing. Alpoom leading the way though, a fantastic start. Hildebeest still in second, Bean in third place. How many positions have you made? You made 3 positions off the start. Incredible from the Mexican driver. Captain Smeg in P4, Carson in P5. Kimmy has lost 3 positions. He's fallen down to 6th. Bender up 2 positions, a nice start. KD maintains 8th. Snake and Beans up 2. Doberman up 2. We have battle between the 2 Red Bulls in 13th and 14th. Seffi, a big winner off the start, up 6 positions into 11th place. And into the pits, actually. He's in. He must have damage. That's the only reason why you would pit this early. We'll go and have a look at that in just a later date. And now we begin lap 2 of 35. If it does start to rain, we'll have a very long race on our hands. A lot of laps that you have to do. And while that was all going on, Carson has moved himself into 4th place, overtaking Captain Schmeg. And at the moment, Bender has got KD all over the back of him. Look, going through turn 7 now onto the back straightaway. KD will be looking to attack here. He's got to run, but he's not close enough to attack the Mercedes-Benz at this stage. Around turns 8 and 9, heading towards the hairpin of 10. KD's lost time. Kimmy gains a little bit, and he's now lost another 2 positions. He's down 5 from the start of this race. It's not a good start for the reserve driver at the moment, but a long race ahead of us. We might be able to claw those positions back. With this lovely train of cars heading towards the Wall of Champions. Everyone gets through with relative ease. Alpoom setting fastest laps, as you'd expect from the man. Lap 3 has begun for these drivers. Bean is applying pressure to Hildebeest. The battle for second place is on. Heading towards turns 3 and 4. Bean really doesn't have any sort of overtaking opportunity here, but he just might, exiting turn 7 as it is lap 3. DRS is now enabled. Around turn 6 into turn 7. 3rd gear, 4th gear. He's struggling for traction on the exit. He won't get in here. But what he will need to focus on is getting a good exit out of turn 10 and perhaps overtake him on the Casino Straight. KD, even with the aid of DRS, isn't close enough to attack Bender just yet. Bender, he'll be desperately trying to get within 1 second of Captain Schmeg, but he's not. He's going to be quite vulnerable to the racing point here. Exiting 11, heading towards turn 12. He's using overtake, using DRS. Bender isn't. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. But KD, he's not gaining enough to attack the Mercedes-Benz here. And all the braking boards have been destroyed. Look at that. And KD has to cut the Wall of Champions chicane there. But I'm sure I saw that correctly. We'll go a bit further back just to look. Look, all the braking boards gone. The only one that's left is the 50. So those drivers who are using no racing line are going to be punished severely for that. That is a massive blow for anyone who isn't using racing line. And I can sympathise with that. I don't use racing line myself. In order to brake accurately and competitively into the Wall of Champions chicane, Without it, you're doing a fair amount of guesswork. You're going to lose a fair amount of time in that braking zone simply because you have no idea where to brake. But for those with racing line, it won't be too much of a trouble. The tail, a 3-second time penalty next to his name. He's one of 2 drivers to have a penalty. Captain Schmeg is another in 5th place. Hildebeest trying to hang on to Bean here, but it's going to be quite a struggle. Bean is a very, very fast driver. He needs to use all of his talent, Hildebeest, to keep up with Bean. At the moment, he's doing a pretty good job of it. Still within a second of the Alfa Romeo. KD, that Mercedes-Benz must have some decent legs on it because he is yet to find a way past KD. He's still stuck in behind as he gets a 3-second time penalty heading through turns 3 and 4. That's something that he'll have to deal with at the end of the race. Sideways, the Racing Point, and here comes Kimi. He's now got to run. Unfortunately, Kimi had to slow down to try and avoid contact, but he's got to run. He's down the inside and he backs out. Interesting call there from Kimi. I reckon he could have went for that move, but he elects to stay in behind the Racing Point, and he's going to have another crack here into turn 10. Oh, a bit of contact maybe in the braking zone. Around turn 10, now turn 11, KD on the outside gets a better exit. Here we go, Kimi. He's looking very racy compared to the Racing Point. KD trying to defend. He comes back across in the braking zone. Fortunately, Kimi was aware of this. He doesn't run up the backside of the Racing Point. Racing Point still not close enough to attack the Mercedes of Bender. The Mercedes doing a fine job holding KD at bay. Look a bit further back, just briefly. Got the tail and Flavius close together. The tail on medium tyres. He went off on the first lap right here, actually, at turn 4. But he's well within the points in 12th place. Remember, the top 15 in Race Spec score points, not the top 10. And he's on the alternate strategy, and he has a bit of clear air. So he might put himself into a fairly good position in the mid-phase and the latter phases of the race. It'll be interesting to see how he fares. Go back up to this. KD still on the back of Bender, still unable to get past, and he's dumped all his ERS. Compare that to Bender, he's still got a healthy 50% worth of ERS. KD using all of his might, still unable to get past. Is he close enough here? And there's an accident, it's threshold. At the hairpin at turn 10, he's now fallen down to last place. He's definitely not out of it, and down the inside, he gets him. KD moves into P6. Just before turn 3, he finally gets it done, but I assume it's not over, due to the fact that Bender's straight line speed is quite noticeable. He was able to hold KD at bay without using DRS. I wonder how much he can attack. Let's have a look. He is pulling away a little bit. No, Kimi is actually gaining just a little bit there. Through the chicane. KD's pulling away. He needs to stay within a second here, and he's out of it. He won't be getting DRS. I'm sure that, as we just had a total reset there of the intervals. Let's have a look. He won't get DRS. No, he won't. Oh dear, he has cost himself there. He seemed to have not paid it too much attention coming towards the DRS detection zone. Oh, and into the wall. Oh, and Kimi's in. He's actually pitting. I thought we might be able to see a part fly off from Kimi's point of view, but he's elected to pit. But you can see there an end plate is missing on the Mercedes. He'll have to get a front wing change on his first pit stop. The Bean is going onto the medium tyre. He's in behind Niru Nix. He needs to find a way past quickly. He can't be held up too much by this Red Bull. Gets a good exit here, and there's an incident with Sully. He has spun out into the wall. At turn 2, he's got it in reverse. He has to get it going. Oh, he can't do this though. He might get disqualified from the race if he drives backwards too far. Flick spins it round though, and away he goes. And there goes Threshold, ghosting through him. But he'll have to go into the pits and get that front wing changed. Carson steadily catching Hildebeest here. He's within a second now. Both drivers should be pitting and are pitting. He's going to overshoot that. Oh dear. What a catastrophic error there from the Williams. Now, I better check the race director because it doesn't seem anything has appeared, though I'm sure there should be a penalty for that. That was a big hit. Let's have a look. Down here, yes, collision with Hildebeest. You can see there he has a warning. You're joking. Just a warning for that. Oh, my word, game. Honestly, you'd think it would be a severe collision penalty, but no. But that front wing change has cost him a lot of time. You see Hildebeest in P6, Carson down in P11. But yeah, typically with it... Oh, a big collision there for KD. He's stuck behind JSD here. He should be able to get past now. So he should. Ooh. Now that really brings Carson into this, and Carson will go for the move. But he's going around the long... Oh, KD squeezed there in the braking zone. Tight racing there. Very tight indeed. I'm sure Carson won't be too happy with that. Oh, they almost made contact heading through turn 12. KD gets past. So does Carson, and here comes Carson on the attack. He's right behind the racing point through the wall of champions. Ready to attack. Sitting in the slipstream, heading towards the heavy braking zone of turn 1. He looks to the inside, shows the nose, but slots back in behind. Round turn 2. Sector 1 yellow flags. Who is that? Oh my word, that is Sully. He has crashed. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he has most certainly crashed. Through the S of turns 6 and 7, out of 7. Down the back straightaway. You can see there that Williams is running even on fuel. He doesn't have a lot in reserve. Kimi just standing there, sitting behind, watching these two battle in front. And that's Sully again at the exit of 7. Round turn 11. KD pulls away. He gets a fantastic exit. And here comes Captain Schmeg overtaking Doberman. Doberman doesn't fight. He understands the battle that he is in. And into the pits he goes. Same with Niru Nix. He's in the pits. The only driver who stayed out is SWM Alp at the moment. The only soft runner who has stayed out. Same with JST actually. He hasn't boxed just yet. This is an interesting strategy from Alpine, our race leader. He might be planning to do a one-stop race at Montreal. These cars following each other, line astern. KD is within a second of Captain Schmeg here. He will get DRS. He's well within a second now. Heading into turn number 10. Captain Schmeg, he's going to have a lot of trouble defending from those cars behind. They're looking incredibly racy. KD looking left and right, just showing Captain Schmeg, I'm right here. Carson, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. KD's got to run. Is it going to be ascending to 1? No, it's not. He's not close enough. Round 1 through 2. Detail. He's a bit out of sync. He's on old medium tyres that he started on, gentlemen. Seth, a 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. Round turn number 5 into turn 6 and 7. We now have this train forming with Detail leading the way. In front of him is Hildebeest. 2.7 seconds separate those two. But the tail is going to have very little in defense. And the cars behind are on fresher tyres, and Alpine is in the pits. Let's see what tyres he goes on, and then we'll go back onto the battle for the final podium spot. Medium tyres, okay. I'm not sure if he's 2-stopping or 1-stopping. Here comes Bean. He'll get a massive undercut on Alp, and he should take the lead, and does take the lead. He'll take the lead with ease. I wonder if Alp is just doing a one-stop race here. He might try and get those tyres to the end. Carson, what has happened here? Oh, what has happened? How did he end up there? And a 5-second penalty for corner cutting, and a virtual safety car deployed. He wasn't in the pits, if I remember correctly, so that must have happened. Oh, and a drive-through penalty for KD that he will have to serve. What on earth happened here? I wonder. Something happened on that pitch straight. Oh, and this might be a telling tale of the story. KD has got a completely destroyed front wing. I wonder if these two have come together at turn 1, perhaps. Or maybe even earlier when they crossed the start-finish line, they may have come together. But something definitely has happened between these two. A drive-through penalty as well for Sefi, speeding on the virtual safety car. It's a very important thing that you have to try and remember when on the virtual. Or Kimmy, don't come across. Oh, dearie me. Very important thing on the virtual. You have to keep your eyes glued to the Delta as Carson retires from the race. That's a bit premature, I must say. Same with Sefi. He is retired from the race as well. There goes a new front wing for KD. So neither of the Williams drivers will be scoring points in this race. They would look like fools if there was a safety car that would come out at any stage. There's still a lot of laps still to run in this race. But KD, he will need to make another tour through the pit lane in order to cover the drive-through penalty he was given. So what happened there? I'm sure there's going to be some sort of report. That's one of the oddest incidents I've seen. To just see where that car ended up, where Carson's Williams ended up. Interesting to see, I'm sure. But KD will be planning to get by JC here and just fly into the pit lane and try and get that drive-through out of the way. And I assume he's on a comeback drive. Try and get his way back through the field. Here we go. He should fly into the pits and does so. So then he can serve his drive-through penalty. Making Beans and Niru Nix fighting for 6th place. Both on a similar strategy as well. Only 2 laps separating the age of their tyres, so should be a fairly decent scrap, I imagine, between those two. And also at the front of the field, Alpine is catching Bean at a rate of knots. The gap now 1.2 seconds between them, and still plenty of laps to go. See now, the gap is under a second between the two. Alpine setting fastest laps are 1:10.825 from Alpine there. And at the moment it's looking like a fantastic race. Oh, and who's that? That must be Threshold getting out of the way. That's very nice of him to get out of the way. As you must do under blue flag conditions. When you are shown the blue flag, you must safely and effectively get out of the way of any of the lead lap cars. He did that fairly well. Nix has just overtaken Snake and Beans. This is for 6th place. Fairly straightforward move at turn 1. Bean, a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. And we're at the halfway stage in this race, so Bean, he has to be careful not to try and get any more penalties next to his name. We can see that after the drive-through penalty, KD down in 14th place. Got a lot of work to do. At the moment, towards the front of the field, everything seems relatively tame, although Albon's on the assault now. Well in behind the Alfa Romeo. Bean is going to have a look. Can't commit to the move though. Round turn 1, through turn 2. Alpine on fresher tyres. We'll be looking to attack here. Right on the back of the Alfa Romeo through this high-speed section. Through turns 6 and 7. Alpine, will he attack here? He's turned on overtake, he's got DRS, but he's not going to go for a move, he's not close enough. Around turns 8 and 9, the drivers get through with ease. Now turn 10, this is a potential overtaking spot. Oh, you can see there, those fresher tyres allowing him to brake so much deeper. Round turn 11, opens DRS, uses overtake, he's going to use it here, down the casino straight, looking to the inside, a very straightforward move, and he retakes the lead of this Canadian Grand Prix. Bean will sit in behind, but I think he will struggle to take that position back. So we'll go back down the order, see what the midfield are up to. JC and Tatal having a scrap. This is for the final place in the top 10. Half a second separating the two drivers. Excuse me. But Tatal has got a penalty next to his name. But he won't be too bothered by that right now. Just needs to get his head down and make up as many positions as he can. Alpine. Now the penalties between Alpine and Bean are equal. They both have 3 seconds apiece. And here comes the tail. DRS, and he powers past. He's now into 10th place. His next target is the Doberman, as Bender gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. We'll have to deal with that at the end of the race, unless of course he makes another stop. The field rather unexpectedly somewhat spread out, I must say. No massive battles going on. Threshold of 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. See here, Snake and Beans trying to hang on, but he had a torrid run out of the exit of turn 10. It's cost him. He's now outside of about 1 second range to Nero. Through the wall of champions. He closes that gap back up a little bit. But it appears that the Red Bull has got the measure of the Renault at this stage. Lake Show on the back of JC. Ooh, that's close. There, they were very close to making contact, but Lake Show managed to pull the car up. And that's a different line there from JC. Sort of moving the car away. They're moving the car back towards the racing line. Very odd. Through turns 2 and 3. Lake Show looks very racy at the moment. Nice and gentle through turns 6 and 7. You need a good exit out of here. That was a bit slidey there. I think the back end just wanted to step out, but it didn't. Oh, JC's locked up massively. And that's cost him a run. Both drivers have a surplus of ERS. Oh, and JC runs too deep at the hairpin. Sector 1 yellow flags, that is Gentleman Seth. No, it's Threshold. He's just made a bit of a mistake at turn 2. Opens DRS and gets by with ease. Now into 11th place. Should be able to pull away even more using the DRS on the pit straight as well. Kimi in 5th place, attacking Captain Schmeg for 4th. Now, the gap between the two Haas's isn't particularly big, 1.7 seconds, and Kimi is looking quite racy at the moment. So he'll be planning to attack here. One of the Ferraris that must be slowly getting out of the way. Here comes Kimi, he's got to run. He might have a go into turn 1 if he gets a good run, and Hildebeest is in. So one of the Haas drivers has blinked, he's in the pits. Kimi, no, he's not close enough to attack just yet. Hildebeest going on to a set of mediums. I reckon he's going to the... Oh, that's why he's come in. He's got wing damage. This wasn't a scheduled stop, I imagine. He was planning to run a bit longer, but he has to come in, get that wing replaced. He might be battling the Renault and the Red Bull. Nero and Snake on the exit. Actually, he gets right in between the two. Nice and in between the two. Now Hildebeest has got fresh tyres compared to the Red Bull in front. He'll be able to catch with relative ease, but he needs to pass the car as soon as possible. He can't waste too much time hanging behind this Red Bull. And I think he should be able to get him with ease heading onto the Casino Straight. Actually, he'll get him before that from the looks of things. Nix is defending. Oh, he backs off Hildebeest. Oh, he may have a look. He shows the nose. Nix, he gives him the room. And he also gets a better run at the exit, the Red Bull. But here we go. It'll be a straightforward overtake and is. Hildebeest now in 5th place with a fair amount of clear air in front of him. Needs to get a move on, set some competitive lap times. Kimi also in. He comes out. Now where is Hildebeest? There he is. And that front wing change has cost the Haas driver catastrophically. Look at that. Gap is 3.2 seconds between Hildebeest and Kimi. Really demonstrates of how demanding this racetrack is. Cannot afford to make a mistake. Lose too much time. A bit further back, Doberman and Detail are having a scrap. 9th place. Detail on slightly fresher medium tyres. Should have the edge over the McLaren. Let's see what he can do. Moving towards turns 8 and 9. Through the chicane well. He has an opportunity at the hairpin. I don't think he's close enough to take it though, but he will have an even better opportunity on the straight coming up. Out of 10 through 11. Using overtake on the exit. Opens DRS. 0.6 of a second separating the two cars, and Doberman just pulls away. For that half a tenth there through the wall of champions. An awkward run there for the McLaren. He's lost a bucket load of time. And in comes Snake and Beans into the pits. To turn 1. The tail. A bit closer than before. Ferrari getting out of the way as Alp setting fastest laps, 1:10.632. Tail looking very racy at the moment. KD is now on the back of JC on a recovery drive. Some sort of incident that I didn't witness happened. He copped a drive-through penalty and a colossal amount of wing damage. Thankfully for him, he is still in the points. He's looking down the inside into the hairpin of 10. A straightforward move. Captain Schmeg into the pits and onto the soft tyre. An interesting call. Out he comes. Will he come out in front of his teammate? He does. And he's on fresher soft tyres. Can he launch an assault to try and get 3rd place back from Kimi? We'll have to wait and see. See the Ferrari getting out of the way. At the back of the field, that's Sully just doing his thing. Doing a sensible job. Look at that gap being 10.5 seconds behind. Is he coming in? No, he stays out another lap. But look at that. Gap between the top two, 10.8 seconds. Gap between second and third, 41.4 seconds. That is massive. And that gap between Kimi and Schmeg has closed a little bit, down to 2.3 seconds. Hildebeest doing his best to keep up with his compatriot. At the moment it is looking like a good race weekend for Haas. Doberman on the back of Flavius, Detail on the back of Doberman, and Lakeshow on the back of Detail, and on the back of that is KD. He probably won't be mucking around the Racing Point driver. He wants to get a move on. So does the Lakeshow from the looks of things, as Flavius goes into the pits. So now Doberman leads this train. Nix gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Round turn 2 go this trio of cars. It's the one yellow flag. Oh, it's the tail! Oh dear! Camera shot didn't point that out at the exit of 2, but he has got massive wing damage. Was there contact? Did he do it by himself? I'm not sure. They were very close together. And Lakeshow, I believe, was the car behind. Oh, and he's in the wall at the exit of 7. Oh, sorry, exit of 6 into 7. And he's now down in 12th place. Oh no. That means KD jumps up to 8th. So he only has to worry about Doberman now. He's the only car in front. What a colossal error. The tail and Lakeshow, both of them, massive amounts of damage. Bender, a 3-second time penalty there. But both of these guys will be coming into the pits. Sector 3, yellow flags. That's just a slow car getting out of the way, I presume. And into the pits goes Doberman and Nix. And here we go. Here come the Red Bull and the Mercedes. Coming in very safely, very efficiently. Doberman now on soft tyres. He's going to the end of the race. KD, a 3-second time penalty next to his name. Or he'll be side by side with the Alfa Romeo on exit. And Bean just comes out in front. Just shows how far the top two have pulled away from the rest of the field. Doberman in 10th place is being lapped by the second place car, SWM Bean. That's how big the gap is. And there's Threshold, several laps down, being lapped by Bean and by Doberman here. Gets out of the way very efficiently there. Well done. Oh, and Bean misses the corner, but follows the instructions well. As it was said by the head steward, you need to follow the orange boards as they direct you to rejoin the racetrack, and he did that very well. Okay, Steve and Snake and Beans having an awkward battle through the Wall of Champions. But Snake and Beans now into 8th place. Captain Snake has gained. Look at that, 1.1 seconds separating 3rd and 4th now. Though the Haas driver does have to worry about penalties next to his name. He won't be too concerned. He has his eyes firmly set on the car in front. Gap of 1.2 seconds between them. Wildebeest is steadily falling back. Gap now 1 second when they cross the line. For these guys, it will be 8 laps to go. Doberman, a 3-second time penalty next to his name now. Oh, what's happened here? Cluster of cars going through turn number 10. Got 2 lap cars behind. That'll be pretty irritating, I'm not going to lie. Alpoon trying to find a way past. Alpine, they've looked unbelievably untouchable in this race. They are leagues in front of the rest of the field in a class of their own. JST in the pits on fresh softs. He's going to the end. Bender trying to attack Flavius for 10th place. Less than a second separate the two, so I imagine a battle might develop here. Captain Schmeg, is he within a second finally? Not yet. Now he is, now he isn't. He is on the threshold of getting DRS. He's yet to get it. Hildebeest, he's doing a fine job hanging to the back of his teammate. He hasn't fallen any greater than 2 seconds behind his teammate. In fact, he's gaining just a little bit through this first sector. Smeg losing time. He needs to dig deep, find a little bit of something. Can he get within 1 second now? No, he's not. He's still just outside of it. Gap is 1.1 seconds. Fortunately, not much else is happening. What's happened to Bender? He's just lost a bucket load of time. Alp has a 3-second time penalty, but he needn't worry. Got a lap car coming through. No, it's JC. Bender has made a mistake, I believe, at the exit of turn 2. Yeah, he's got end plate damage. Actually, that's more than end plate. He's lost the entire right side of his front wing. He'll be coming into the pits, getting that replaced. He's going to lose a number of positions. I think he might even fall outside the points if he's not lucky. Oh, he might actually just stay in it. And now, finally, after all this time, Captain Schmeg is within a second of Kimi. Heading towards turn 10. The gap is 7/10 of a second, and Kimi has got a penalty next to his name. But Captain Schmeg, 9 seconds. He has not been managing his warnings very well, has he? And Hildebeest has got 6 seconds next to his name, so it seems as if that Kimi will hang on to third. But at least we have a battle on track that we can look forward to. Captain Schmeg would love that. He would love to finish on track in third, I'm sure of it. There's a car in front, some lap cars. But to see first and second be so far apart, and then see this is third, fourth and fifth also close together. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Oh, and Hildebeest has made a mistake at 6 and 7. He has lost time. He needs to try and catch back up, help his teammate. Now, half a second separating third and fourth. Around turn 10 into turn 11. Will he go for it? He's sitting in the slipstream. Both cars have DRS, so it's going to be an incredibly difficult overtake, and Schmeg can't do it, and that's now 12 seconds. Now into turns 3 and 4. Getting close to 3 laps remaining. Not exactly been the most enthralling race we've seen. Not a bad one though. Schmeg again close, but no cigar just yet. And these guys don't have to worry about the likes of Nira Nix or KD. They're a long way behind. Into the hairpin. And now Alp has just begun lap 33. Officially hitting 3 laps to go. So this is it. Got the penalties of Alp and Bean on 6 seconds respectively. Kimi looking good to secure third, as both drivers behind have more penalties than he. Schmeg on 12, Hildebeest on 6. Niru Nix is looking like he's going to hang on to 6th place. KD's going to drop at least 1 position, I presume. Actually, no, he might not. He might be able to hang on to 7th place if he can keep at least a 9-second margin to Snake and Beans, who has 3 seconds next to his name. Same with Doberman. Flavius, JC and Lakeshore, no pens next to their name. So drivers towards the bottom of the order. Penalties that they have to deal with as well. Well, Bender might be able to secure a points finish if he can finish 15th. And I think he will. He has 2 seconds less in terms of penalties, and he's right in behind the McLaren now. But these guys, when they get through the Wall of Champions again, Smeg is looking left and right here. These guys will have 2 laps to go. As what's happened to Bean? He's in. Why has he elected to pit? He is elected to pit with 2 laps to go, but he has fallen down to 5th place. Did he get wing damage or something? Let's have a look. What is that all about? But yes, he damaged his front wing and he's now on soft tyres. He was on for 2nd place. That has been taken away. Alpin has just begun his final lap. He is miles ahead of these guys, literally. So what was a battle for 3rd is now a battle for 2nd place, though I still believe Kimi will get it. Smeg has overtaken him. He will finish 2nd on track, or maybe not. Bean is looking very fast right now. We've got a 4-way fight, and he's going to go for it. A Wall of Champions. Oh, and he overshoots massively. Takes out the board. And he is on the same penalties as Hildebeest, so these two are properly scrapping it out. Kimi's got an advantage. He only has 3 seconds next to his name. Meanwhile, on the Casino Straight, for the final time, it is a complete and utter domination that we have seen here. SWM Alp will win here at Montreal by a country mile. But who takes 2nd? That is the question. Bean has gotten past Hildebeest. And he overshoots the chicane again. And I think that's a penalty. It is. He has 9 seconds now. Can he get past Kimi? No, he cannot. What a catastrophic error. Down the Casino Straight for the final time. Bean, using every resource. He's going to look. But no, he relinquishes the position there. Sector 3 yellow flags. And that's another penalty. No, he has run out of fuel. That's what happened. He has run out of fuel. So that will mean Kimi will finish in 2nd and Hildebeest in 3rd. Captain Schmeg will hang on to 4th place. Bean had run out of fuel. He did not keep an eye on it, and it's cost him. It was a guaranteed 2nd place, yet somehow he had thrown it away and has finished 5th. What a interesting bit of drama there, right at the end. Next given driver of the day will see his performance in the unofficial results screen. But quite a comprehensive victory there for SWM Alp. Pretty much unchallenged in this race. winning by an unbelievably massive margin. Kimi ends up finishing second. Hildebeest on the podium in third place. He'll be happy with that result, I'm sure. But what a finish to that race. But the unofficial results, it is SMM Alp winning by 44 seconds over Kimi. Hildebeest in third, Captain Schmeg in fourth. A fantastic day for Haas. They'll be very happy with that. Being what could have been a podium, ends up being 5th place in the end. Nick starting from 15th place, finishing 6th. That is a superb drive from the Red Bull, making up 9 places over the course of the race. KD will finish in 7th place. Snake and Beans in 8th, Flavius in 9th, Doberman rounding out the top 10. JST in 11th, Lake Show in 12th, Detal in 13th, Bender for Life in 14th, and Gentleman Seth rounding out the point scorers in 15th. And also Bender scoring fastest lap as well with a 1:10.375. So he'll get that point. Lucid in 16th, Threshold in 17th, Sully in 18th, and our 2 non-finishers, the 2 Williams drivers, Seffi and Carson. There we go. Well, definitely spiced it up at the end, my word. If only penalties weren't dictating that sort of P2 down to P5 result. That would have been incredible to watch, how those drivers would have battled each other if they didn't have any penalties next to their name. But no, it's still a very, very interesting battle there for second in the end. But a very comprehensive display there from Alp, showing what he can do. A massive winning margin there, one of the biggest that I have seen in my commentating career. Look at that, 1 lap down from P7 downward. Only the top 6 finished on the lead lap. I haven't seen that before. Not in a full field of 20 cars. That is quite incredible. But I believe that will end round 3 of the championship. Next week, we go to one of the best racetracks in the world. Some would argue it's the best racetrack on the Formula 1 calendar. Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, a 7-kilometer ribbon of tarmac. It's, in many ways, it is a sort of perfect racetrack. It's incredibly demanding, it's incredibly fast, it's incredibly flowing. There are some drivers who really enjoy driving around there. I'm one of those people. And it's also a decent racetrack as well. We tend to see some pretty good racing around there. And you've also got the unknowns like the weather, safety cars, incidents, all that kind of stuff. And also some really key areas that drivers will have to look out for, most notably probably Pouon, the fast left-hander in the second sector, with the inside curb there being basically an auto spin curve. You touch that, you spin round, you either go off onto the tarmac runoff area on the outside, or you have a meet and greet with a tyre barrier. Basically it's a game's choice. But, no, that should be a very interesting race next week, I'm sure. But it's not quite over just yet at Montreal. In a few days' time, on the weekend, we'll have the Race Spec Global Tiers at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And I reckon that will be a pretty good show as well, seeing some of the best drivers that Race Spec have to operate around one of the better racetracks on the Formula 1 calendar. Should be very entertaining. But until next week, I've been the Smeg. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. Until then, goodbye.